Hi, in this aside I'm going to tell you about my A to Z of squash. So here we go, from the top. A is for approach. I'm not talking about how you approach the ball with your feet, I'm talking about how you approach your training and practicing. You don't have to be a great player to have a great approach. You can take things seriously, you can plan, you can record. It's all about your mental attitude. That's what I'm talking about there. B is for boast, of course. Now, learn to hit a few types of boast. A fading boast, a three-wall boast, a high defensive boast. But, B is for but as well, but don't hit them too often. They only become really useful if you don't hit them all of the time. C is for concentration. Now, how often have you seen matches, even at professional level, where a series of points are lost in a consecutive row? The score is 2-2 and then suddenly it's 5-2 or 6-2. People lose concentration, and it's a skill and you can work on it. How do you work on it? Well, one of the ways is solo practice, just hitting the ball and concentrating all of the time. D is for drop. Learning to do an effective drop really lengthens the whole court. If you don't have a good drop, you're only letting the player, your opponent, working 2/3 of the court. You need them to be able to have to cover all of the court, so learn how to do a drop. Excuse me. E is for experience. There is nothing better than playing as many people as possible. You may have heard the old maxim, only play people who are better than you. It's wrong. Who would Ramy Ashour play if that were true? What you need to do is you need to play different people. It's one of the fastest ways to improve because you have to adapt to different conditions and you are constantly learning. So play as many different people as possible. F is for footwork. Being able to glide around the court comfortably is very important. You don't see many great players who don't have good footwork. And it's a skill that you can learn. And how do you learn it? You learn it from G is for ghosting. Ghosting is practicing your movement and other things on the squash court on your own. Moving into the corners, pretending to play the strokes. In fact, look out for my total guide to ghosting in a few weeks. H is for height. How high is the squash court? Do you know? Well, it's actually 4.5 meters high. But if you look at all of the people who play, it's almost as if they think it's only just 2 meters high because they don't use the full height of the court. Highest squash court I ever played in was at BBC White City. It was almost 10 meters to the ceiling. Now that's the important figure because all squash courts are 4.5 meters high. What's important is how high is the ceiling. If you don't hit the ceiling once during a match, you're not using the full height of the court. I is for intention. Hit every shot with a specific intention. Don't hit it because it's your turn to hit it, and I know that sounds stupid, but a lot of people do that. Hit it because you know exactly what you want to do with the ball, and if you don't know what you want to do with the ball, go and see a coach. They will tell you. J is for jump rope, often called skipping. This is almost a lost art. Skipping is a fantastic exercise. For $10 or euros or pounds, you can get a great skipping rope. And you can do many different types of exercises. And for squash players who are constantly on their feet, it's a great exercise. K is for kill. Too often I see people keeping the ball going when they have created an opportunity. When you create an opportunity, kill the ball. Don't hit it in the back unless you have some long-term strategic plan against your nemesis. Create an opportunity and kill it. L is for length. Second bounce in the nick. I will repeat that. Listen carefully. Second bounce in the nick. This is the perfect length. But of course, with everything, especially in life, it's never that simple. So there are different types of length, but you must make sure that you're constantly thinking about it. Vary the speed, vary the length. Those cause problems for your opponent. M is for mistakes. How often have you seen somebody with a clear opportunity and they've made a mistake? Either they've hit the tin or they've hit it out, or more importantly, they haven't hit the right shot. Try to analyse your mistakes and try to stop making them. N is for nick. We love hitting nicks, but they are false gods. Do not follow them. Do not worship them. They will lead you from the straight and narrow. A nick should be a bonus, not a complete objective in itself. O is for observation. You must watch and learn. When you come off court, you should know more about your opponent than he or she does about you. Watch and learn. P is for practice, my favourite word. Practice, practice, practice. If I could get people to practice half as much time on their solo skills as they do on their fitness, people would be better. Yes, fitness is very important, but too often it's overemphasised. I could take one of the fittest people in the world, and I could take an ex-professional who hasn't played in 20 years, and I know who's going to win. Fitness comes and goes. Skill is for life. Q is for question. Why did I lose? Why is my forehand coming into the middle of the court? Why don't I volley enough? Question everything that you do and make sure you have a good answer. R is for return. Now, considering how similar tennis and squash are, it's amazing the different mentality that we have. When a squash player learns to serve, he's just putting the ball in. Okay? Tennis players, they're looking to win the rally. So we need to use that to our advantage. So a return of serve should really take away any possible advantage and put you in the driving seat. It's not just to hit the ball, it's to take away their advantage. And of course, S is for serve, which I've already mentioned. When you serve as a squash player, you should be thinking about making life as difficult as possible for your opponent. Don't just stand there, really hit the ball. No. Think about it. What are you trying to do? What is he not good at? Maybe if you're playing a left-hander, you should start in the opposite box so that you serve on his backhand. I don't know, just an idea, but you should be thinking about your serve. T is for technique. Technique is very, very important, and you should always be thinking about your technique. And when I say always, I don't mean exactly as you're hitting the ball, but you should always be looking to improve it. Now, another possible T is, of course, T. You should be on the tee, you should own it, you should control it, it should feel like home. U is for understanding. Understand your weaknesses. And of course, that's part of O, which is observation. You must accept that you have weaknesses. You must understand why you have that weakness, and you must work on it. V is for volley. I come from a tennis background. I am a serve and volleyer. Volleying is very natural for me. I love volleying. I take the ball on the volley almost as often as possible. Now, you don't have to suddenly change your game, but if you could hit one more volley per game than you did the last match, that would be a good thing. And if you could keep doing that, once you have the option of volleying, you will feel much better about it. W is for width. How wide is the court? Doesn't really matter. What matters is, are you hitting the ball wide enough? Too often I see cross courts and they're being volleyed. They're being volleyed because they're not wide enough. If you hit too many cross courts, it's because you are not confident about your straight drives. Or maybe you feel that your opponent or she has a weakness on cross courts, but most of the time it's because you have a weaker straight drive. X is for Xenogenesis. Now, Xenogenesis, what a word. Basically, it means attributing a cause to a foreign body. Accepting failure is a very important part of success. And often I hear people come off court saying, I lost because I didn't play very well or I didn't hit the ball cleanly. I don't see that as accepting failure. I see that as not accepting that your opponent didn't allow you to hit the ball cleanly, didn't allow you to play well or move well. You failed by not adapting to their situation. So don't come off court and say it was your fault and feel as if you're being really heroic about it. No. Accept that it was your opponent who stopped you from playing well. Y is for yoga or any other kind of stretching exercise. As squash players, we generally don't do enough stretching. It will help prevent injury, it will improve your game. If you don't like doing it, that's an extra reason to do it, because it probably means you're not very good at it. And Z is for zeal. Love the game. I love the game. I took a break and I was thinking about it a lot, but I had to come back. Okay? One of the differences between squash players and other players is we really love our game. We're very passionate about it, and you must feel that zeal. So there's my A to Z. Approach, boast, concentration, drop, experience, footwork, ghosting, height, intention, jump rope, kill, length, mistake, nicks, observation, practice, question, return, serve, technique or T, understanding, volley, width, Xenogenesis, yoga and zeal. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you disagree with some of those, in which case make your own video telling me your A to Z of squash and then we can talk about it. So, again, thanks for watching. Back to practice. See ya!